since I was a jit. Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long, that I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back and then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver, I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when I pray on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm the sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
The 100th season starts tonight. I'm the coach, and this is the return of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight, we kick off the new season with a great one in the NFC North. A potential classic between the Green Bay Packers and the defending champs of the division, the Chicago Bears. I'll be back at halftime with a look ahead to the weekend. But for now, let's get to Chicago and say hello for the first time to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis, back for our fourth season already calling games together. Hard to believe that. And as we begin 2019, the 100th season of the NFL, it's the 199th matchup between the Packers and the Bears.
Makes our 4 seasons together seem rather small, doesn't it? When you put those numbers next to it. But how about this opener? Last year, it was the season opener in Green Bay, and that was an absolute classic. Aaron Rodgers coming back and throwing the big touchdown passes for the Packers to win. But now they're under new management. Matt LaFleur is their head coach. Rodgers still the quarterback. The Bears, the defending NFC North champs.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're back up to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
Here we go, here we go. Like 80! 53, let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
On the catch, it's Crowder. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Tackle!
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And in this offense, the shifty Lamar Miller sometimes sets the table.
And he's at his best when the number of carries for him approaches 20. Wears down defenses with his speed.
Here we go. 180! 53, Mike. Get hot!
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
There are a number of great quarterbacks in the NFL, but I have to believe that the prototype in terms of look has to be Cam Newton. That stature and frame, almost breathtaking when you see him in person. And now he's starting to put it all together with consistency in his game, throwing, running, leading.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And some room to roam now. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big run there by Freeman. 57 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10.
Eight. Check nickel.
Here's the second-year back from Southern Miss, Ito Smith. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw, Newton. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there. Really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
8. Crunch. 20. Shit.
On second down, Freeman. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
The running game's played a huge part of getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brought you.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bears have taken the lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
Consistency. That name is Ryan Kerrigan. The outside linebacker hasn't missed a game since he began his NFL career in 2011 and only seems to be getting better. With 3 straight seasons of 11 or more sacks, 4 Pro Bowl selections overall, 3 in a row, and he's a huge pro wrestling fan. Look out when he hits him with the R2K.
Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a second and long. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. From the gun, here's Newton. And his throw here's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Third and long, it's Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now it's Crowder. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So good field position for the Packers as they come up first and 10. On play action, now Garoppolo. The throw left side, complete to Hogan. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a first and 10. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a first and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Ertz has it left side.
Go ahead.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Newton. Flushed out right. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Newton on first down. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Well, you think he loved the protection? Action he had there all kinds of time.
And you're so right. How could you not love that? Great protection. The big guys up front really locked in on it. No one gets near the quarterback. He's got all the time in the world to survey the field and deliver for a first down.
And the big boys up front, a big reason why they're also winning, too. Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Right there, 54 Mike. Hey! Check 13! Check 13! Gun. Set!
To throw on 2nd and 6. Newton will find Metcalf. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Mike's 59! Mike's 59! Who that?
Now Newton on first down. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Your trip is here!
Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Devontae Freeman. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Here we go. Ready? Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again on second down. Garoppolo. Completion left side to Miller. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jordan Berry now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Newton. Flush to his right. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
I think by now it's been demonstrated quite well in the NFL that mobility is an attribute. But when you couple it with accuracy, you really...
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
51 the mic. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. 8.
Here's Newton. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Newton now to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
52. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Again, Newton. Forced out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Markevius Mingo, his 2nd sack of the night. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have hit halftime of the 2019 opener from Chicago. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. We'll start in the early window and begin up in Minneapolis. A tough one for the homestanding Vikings, as they'll be forced to reckon with the Atlanta Falcons. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the Detroit Lions. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, a good one to kick off the year, as the Patriots will raise their 6th Super Bowl banner at home against their rivals through many of those years, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a first down throw for Newton. He's got Burton here. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, let's go. Come crouch. Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
From the 36, Newton. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
59, Mike. 59. 8. Double dog.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Newton. And that will be incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they Discussed. How they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They fake the give, and Garoppolo looks to throw.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 78 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with a don't fumble the football.
His pass caught at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's 2nd and inches at the 3-yard line.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. To throw is Garoppolo. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh finding the path to the QB there.
That play was hard to see. One play goes wrong, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and very long when they've been in 2nd and inches.
Yeah, I know you like the idea of taking a shot on 2nd and inches, but you can't take a sack for that big of a loss.
That's the one thing you cannot do. They gave it up, and now they're way behind the chains. Good luck with this next play call.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Gun. 8. Get it.
Now it's Freeman. And an alley to run. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
The 37-yard line. That's the end.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Mike, set. Ready? Great. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Hey, they scared. Hey! Check. Hey, what is it?
On 2nd down and 4. Newton completes it to the tight end, Burton. 11 yards there, 1st down. But probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Freeman. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
He's checking. Great. He's coming. 8. He's coming. Double up. Check. What is it?
Newton now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. DK Metcalf with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Bears will extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Henry Anderson in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Garoppolo looks to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Wide open receiver complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 13 yards, 1st down Packers.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the newest Packer. It's Adrian Amos.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
But that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin to drive.
On second down now, it's Freeman. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them. When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
On first down, Freeman. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Newton escaping the pressure right. To the right side, complete to Taylor. 15 yards on the play, first down. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arms saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He lost 6 there on the first down play. That kind of looked like a defense fed up by being gashed in the running game all night.
Yeah, and imagine their coach saying, if you're fed up on that play, where were you the rest of the time? What took you so long? But flip it over to the offensive side. They've been dominating this thing, and to finally have a play go against them, that's not something that's going to make them feel very good this evening.
Newton's going to throw it, eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Mike 51. 8. It's a safety creep.
From the gun, here's Newton. He's got it. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, 2x C. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
I just grab a nugget when I can.
Elliott good with a PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Here's Jordan Berry now, standing just outside his own goal line. To return is McKenzie. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
He finds an opening past the 40. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing here, Newton. Towards the end zone for Brown. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And the return will stop right around the 25.
All day. Here we go. Like 80.
Number 53. Mike 53. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
One final try now for Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it. And then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Chicago, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.